Welcome to yet another Minute Microscopy. I am Eric Rosenblatt, and with daylight saving time having recently kicked in, I'd like to talk a little about clocks and time zones. Now, I've already done a video about DST, but here I'd like to expand on that just a little. In short, I believe we should discard time zones entirely and choose one global clock for the whole world. Let's all just use UTC. So I'm sure a lot of people would balk at the idea of this because depending on where you live, you might have to start work at 1700 or go to bed at noon. But see, these are merely numbers. And they've been arbitrary since the beginning. We're accustomed to waking up at 7 or 8 or whatever and going to bed around midnight. But why is that? Why do we have the classic 9 to 5 schedule? It's just something that kind of happened, and that's what people went with. We could have started and ended the day at any numerical value. There could have been any interval. Perhaps a day could be 72 hours, with an hour being made up of 360 minutes. I don't know. If that was the case, that's what would feel normal, making our 24-hour day seem weird. Long ago, there wasn't really a proper concept of time. The sun rose, and we woke up and did things. Then the sun set, and we stopped doing stuff and went to sleep. Eventually, we figured out that there was a periodic cycle to our days, and we began quantifying it. It didn't really matter what system we used because it was pretty much localized. Then we developed faster transportation and communication, and there arose a need to coordinate our times over a larger geographical area. And that system we created is where we stand today, the product of 19th century needs still being utilized in the 21st. Well, you're probably aware that times have changed. Today, we exist in an instant global environment. Data travels at the speed of light across this planet. We can transport materials and people around the globe in mere hours. We have meetings and can share ideas anywhere in the world in near real time. And in this context, time zones no longer really make sense. I'm sure you've seen an upcoming scheduled show or something like that where they specify the time according to a certain time zone. Not only does that generate confusion, like, well, what time will it be here when it's that time there? But it isn't necessary. If we're scheduling things based on time, let's pick a standard and make that the thing everyone uses everywhere. It's all made up anyway, so it's sensible to make up something more rational in a globalized system. Yeah, I know it might be difficult to adjust to going to work at what used to be nighttime. But millions of people across the world do that anyway. Ever heard of night shift? Not only that, but science, militaries, radio enthusiasts, astronauts, and the internet all tend to use one standardized time. We got used to local time when we were kids, and we can get used to global time as adults. And, well, after a few generations, we'll be looking back and wondering how people in the past navigated that bewildering time system. And like any good idea, we'll eventually be taking it for granted.